My heart hammered against my ribs as I walked down Maple Street, passing the familiar coffee shops and boutiques that had witnessed my morning routines for the past 5 years. But this morning, everything looked different through my eyes. More vivid, more alive, more full of possibility. The butterflies in my stomach weren't from nerves or fear. They were from pure, unadulterated anticipation. You see, I'd been living a double life for over a decade. By day, I was Michael, reliable software engineer, devoted son, dependable younger brother. But in the quiet hours of my apartment, in stolen moments when the world wasn't watching, I was someone else entirely, someone I'd never had the courage to introduce to the world. Today, that was going to change. But first, let me take you back to where this journey truly began. Not in my apartment this morning, but in a place where magic happens every day, where strangers become allies, and where I discovered that sometimes the most beautiful thing you can do is simply be yourself. In 3 hours, I'll walk into my brother's milestone birthday party. Not as the person everyone expects to see, but as the feminine Michael I've always known myself to be. What happens between now and then? A complete transformation that will change everything. At 9 a.m., I stepped out of my downtown apartment building, and the whole world felt different. The autumn air carried a crispness that matched the electricity running through my veins. Today wasn't just another Saturday. Today was David's Golden Jubilee, his 50th birthday celebration that our entire family had been planning for months. But here's what nobody knew. Today was also my day. At 38 years old, I had finally gathered the courage to do something I'd been dreaming about for years. Hidden in my wallet was a confirmation for a full salon makeover at Bella's Beauty Salon, the most exclusive beauty destination in the city. The glass doors of Bella's Beauty Salon stood before me like a gateway to another world. Through the pristine windows, I could see a realm of gleaming surfaces, soft lighting, and women moving with the kind of confidence I'd only ever imagined possessing. My reflection stared back at me from the glass. Still very much Michael in my carefully chosen jeans and button-down shirt, but with eyes that sparkled with secret knowledge of what was about to unfold. The door chimed as I pushed it open, and suddenly I was enveloped in sensory paradise. The gentle hum of professional blow dryers created a soothing soundtrack, while the soft chatter of women discussing their lives, their plans, their dreams, filled the air with feminine energy I'd been craving my entire life. The scent hit me immediately. A luxurious blend of expensive hair products, the sweet chemical tang of nail polish, and the clean floral fragrance that seemed to emanate from every surface. "You must be Michael," came a warm voice that made my shoulders drop with relief I didn't know I'd been holding. Behind the reception desk stood Sarah, a woman in her 40s with kind eyes and a smile that seemed to say, "You're exactly where you belong." As she led me deeper into the salon, I felt like Alice tumbling down the rabbit hole. Everywhere I looked, there were women in various stages of transformation. Some sat with foil highlights processing in their hair, others leaned back in pedicure chairs with their eyes closed in bliss, and still others studied their reflections as makeup artists worked their magic. The diversity was breathtaking. Young college students, professional women in their 30s, elegant grandmothers, all united in this ritual of self-care and beauty. This is more than just a salon, I thought to myself, as Sarah showed me to the changing area. This is a sanctuary where women come to become the best versions of themselves. And today, I was one of them. My transformation began at the nail station, where I met Jennifer, an artist in her own right, with intricate designs painted on her own nails and a portfolio of her work displayed proudly beside her station. "Welcome to your makeover day," she said with genuine enthusiasm as she guided me to a luxurious chair positioned above a bubbling pedicure bath that looked more like a small jacuzzi. As my feet sank into the warm, rose-scented water, I felt something I'd never experienced before, the sensation of being completely cared for, of being the center of someone's professional attention in this deeply feminine way. The warm water swirled around my ankles while Jennifer began working on my hands, gently pushing back cuticles that had never received such careful attention. "Have you ever had a professional manicure before?" she asked, and when I shook my head, her smile grew wider. "Oh, you're in for such a treat. There's nothing quite like that first time." She was right. Every sensation was new and intoxicating. The gentle pressure of the nail file as she shaped each nail into perfect ovals. The cool sensation of the cuticle oil as she massaged it into my fingers. The warm, damp towels that wrapped around my hands between each step. I found myself closing my eyes, letting the experience wash over me like a meditation. "Now for the fun part," Jennifer announced, gesturing toward a wall display that showcased what must have been 300 different polished colors. "What speaks to you today?" I studied the options with the intensity of someone choosing artwork for their home. Bright reds that screamed confidence, soft pinks that whispered femininity, bold purples that demanded attention. But then I saw it. a sophisticated burgundy called Midnight Rose that seemed to capture everything I was feeling: elegant yet bold, feminine yet strong, beautiful yet mysterious. As Jennifer applied the base coat, I watched in fascination as my nails began their transformation. Each brushstroke felt symbolic, like I was painting away years of hiding and replacing them with courage. The color went on rich and deep, catching the salon's flattering light in a way that made my hands look elegant and feminine. The pedicure followed the same luxurious ritual. As Jennifer worked, massaging my feet and calves with practiced expertise that made me understand why women spoke about pedicures with such reverence, I found myself thinking about how foreign and wonderful it felt to be cared for in this way. When had anyone ever spent this much time and attention on making me feel beautiful? Next came the makeup station, and this is where I met Christina, an artist whose portfolio displayed transformations that bordered on miraculous. She studied my face with the intensity of a sculptor examining marble, tilting my chin this way and that under the Hollywood-style lights that surrounded her station. "You have beautiful bone structure," she said, and I felt a flush of pride I'd never experienced before. "Strong jawline, expressive eyes, great skin. We're going to enhance what's already naturally gorgeous about you." The chair felt like a throne as I settled in, facing a mirror surrounded by bright, flattering bulbs that seemed to illuminate not just my face, but my future. Christina's station was a wonderland of brushes in every size imaginable, palettes of eyeshadows that looked like artists' paints, and more products than I'd seen outside of a department store. "The key to great makeup," Christina explained as she began with primer, "is understanding that we're not changing who you are, we're revealing who you've always been." Her words hit me like a revelation as she worked. The foundation went on like silk, applied with techniques I'd only seen in YouTube tutorials but never experienced firsthand. She explained undertones and coverage, color theory and blending, treating me like a student eager to learn the secrets of feminine beauty. The eyeshadow came next, a sophisticated palette of warm golds and rich browns that made my hazel eyes appear larger, more luminous, more mysterious. Christina worked with multiple brushes, each serving a specific purpose I'd never understood before. Base color, transition shade, deeper crease color, highlight on the inner corners, each step revealing more of the woman I was becoming. "Eyeliner is where we add drama," she said, steadying my face with gentle fingers as she drew perfect lines that seemed to lift and elongate my eyes. The false lashes came next, applied with tweezers and a steady hand that spoke to years of practice. When she told me to open my eyes, I gasped at my reflection. My eyes had become the focal point of my face, dramatic yet somehow naturally beautiful. "And now," Christina said with the flourish of an artist about to add the final stroke to a masterpiece, "we complete the look." The lipstick she chose was a classic red that perfectly complemented my burgundy nails, applied with a precision that made my lips look fuller, more defined, utterly kissable. With each product, each brushstroke, each careful application, I watched my reflection transform from Michael into someone I'd never dared dream I could become. The face looking back at me was undeniably mine. Same bone structure, same eyes, same features, but polished and glamorous in a way that took my breath away. The final transformation took place at Roberto's station, where the man himself, an artist whose reputation preceded him throughout the city, ran his expert fingers through my shoulder-length brown hair with the assessment of a master craftsman. "You have incredible hair," he said with the authority of someone who worked with hair professionally every day. "Thick, healthy, with natural movement that most women would kill for. I see soft, romantic waves that frame your face, with volume at the crown to complement your facial structure." As Roberto sectioned and pinned my hair, I became aware that other clients and staff had begun to take notice of my transformation, not with judgment or curiosity, but with the kind of appreciation women show each other when they recognize something beautiful happening. Roberto worked with the precision of a conductor leading an orchestra. Heat protectant applied strand by strand, volumizing mousse worked through with expert fingers, each section blow-dried with a round brush that created smooth, bouncing movement I'd never achieved on my own. "The secret to beautiful hair," Roberto explained as he worked, "is understanding your hair's natural personality and working with it, not against it. Your hair wants to have body and movement. We're just giving it permission to be its best self." The curling iron came next, a large barrel tool that Roberto wielded like a magic wand. Each section was carefully wrapped, held for the perfect amount of time, then released to create soft, bouncing curls that seemed to have a life of their own. As he worked, I caught glimpses of myself in the mirror, watching in amazement as my hair transformed from ordinary to extraordinary. When Roberto finally stepped back and turned my chair to face the mirror fully, I actually gasped out loud. The woman looking back at me was radiant. hair cascading in perfect waves over my shoulders, catching the light with every tiny movement, framing a face that glowed with expertly applied makeup. "Oh my God," I whispered, and Roberto's grin told me he'd heard that reaction before. But the most magical part of this entire experience wasn't the transformation itself. It was the way I was embraced by every single person in that salon. As my makeover neared completion, I became aware of the warmth radiating from everyone around me. Margaret, an elegant woman in her 70s having her silver hair styled at the next station, caught my eye in the mirror and smiled with the kind of maternal warmth that immediately melted any remaining anxiety. "Sweetheart, you look absolutely stunning," she said in a voice that reminded me of my grandmother. "You're going to be the belle of whatever ball you're attending tonight." A younger woman named Ashley, getting her nails done nearby, leaned over with genuine admiration in her voice. "Your makeup artist is incredible. That lip color was made for you." She spoke to me the same way she might compliment any other woman in the salon, and that normalcy, that immediate acceptance, meant more than she could possibly know. Jennifer checked in to see how my nails were holding up, offering tips for maintaining the polish throughout the evening. Christina stopped by to touch up my lipstick and slip me a small tube for reapplication later, treating me like any girlfriend might before a big night out. Roberto made final adjustments to my hair while complimenting how well I was carrying the new style. Every interaction felt natural, celebratory, sisterly. I wasn't a curiosity or a project. I was simply another woman being pampered and celebrated in this sanctuary of femininity. The acceptance was so complete, so genuine, that I felt my last walls of self-consciousness crumble away. This was what I dreamed of but never believed possible. Complete acceptance of who I was choosing to be, surrounded by women who understood the power and joy of transformation. As 11:30 a.m. approached and my transformation reached completion, I stood before the full-length mirror near the salon's entrance for the final reveal. Christina held up a handheld mirror so I could see every angle, while Roberto made tiny adjustments to ensure each wave fell perfectly. The reflection staring back at me was breathtaking. Flawless, glowing skin, eyes that sparkled with drama and depth, hair that moved like liquid silk with each turn of my head, burgundy nails that added the perfect, feminine finishing touch. But more than the external transformation, what struck me was the change in my posture, the light in my eyes, the genuine confidence radiating from within. This wasn't Michael dressed as a woman. This was me, the complete me, finally given permission to exist in the world. As Sarah processed my payment at the front desk, she handed me a small bag with touch-up products and aftercare instructions. "You look absolutely radiant," she said with sincere warmth. "I hope your evening is everything you dreamed it would be." I stepped out into the late morning sunshine, catching my reflection in the salon's front window as I passed. The woman walking down Maple Street was elegant, confident, and undeniably beautiful. I had entered Bella's looking for a makeover, but I was leaving with something infinitely more precious: the unshakable knowledge that I deserved to take up space in the world as my authentic self. My phone buzzed with a text from David. "Can't wait to see you tonight, little brother. It's going to be an unforgettable celebration." I smiled, tucking my phone back into my purse. Yes, purse, another small revolution in my day. David had no idea how right he was. Tonight would indeed be unforgettable, but not for the reasons he imagined. As I made my way home to prepare for the evening ahead, my mind raced with anticipation. The Golden Jubilee celebration awaited, filled with family, old friends, and colleagues who had never seen this side of me. For the first time in my 38 years, I would be attending not as someone playing a role, but as someone celebrating every aspect of who I truly was. The salon had given me more than perfect hair and flawless makeup. They had given me the courage to show up as myself. The real party was just about to begin. Coming next, Part 2, the birthday celebration.
The Gender Diary exists to light that path with shared stories. Whether you found connection in this narrative, you're on your own journey of gender exploration, or you're here seeking understanding, your subscription fuels our mission. Every subscriber empowers us to keep illuminating these authentic experiences for our community. Kindly drop a comment below. Your voice adds to the tapestry of experiences that makes this space meaningful. Until our next story unfolds.